Now moving forward, still staying on the subject of space, we will talk about the conquest of space, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Man's forever quest for reaching out of the earth and reaching the moon and other planets and galaxies and stars. And Allah Ta'ala encourages us to do so. In Surah Rahman, chapter 55, verse 33. O you jinns and humans, if you can penetrate the outer limits of the heavens and the earth, go ahead and do so. You cannot penetrate without the authorization of Allah. So Allah Ta'ala says, O you jinn and man, if you can penetrate out of this earth, the surface of the earth, go into the heavens and go there. But remember, you cannot go without the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now the beauty of this verse is that this comes in Surah Ar-Rahman, and Surah Ar-Rahman talks about the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and again it says فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. And between every فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ there are sometimes one verse, sometimes multiple verses, and each time the topic changes. Allah Ta'ala talks about, let's suppose, fruits. In the next he talks about heaven and streams. In the next he talks about something else. So Surah Ar-Rahman is like blessing after blessing after blessing. They don't come in a sequence. Now look at this. This verse is chapter 55 verse 33, and it comes in between فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. This verse in itself is a chapter. In itself is a topic. There is nothing in context before it that Allah Ta'ala started talking about exploration of space or something like that, or continued after this verse, exploration of space. This has been left as it is. That, O you jinns and humans, if you can penetrate into the heavens, go ahead and do it. But you will not do so without the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now it mentions in Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6, verse 125. Whomever God wills to guide, He renders his chest wide open to Islam. And whomever He wills to send astray, He renders his chest closed and constricted, like one who climbs towards the sky. God thus places a curse upon those who refuse to believe. Now this verse has two meanings. The first one, we know, Allah Ta'ala says that the person who disbelieves is like his chest will be constricted and closed, as if a man is trying to reach up for the skies. The first point, we know now that the higher altitudes you attain, the lower the oxygen level becomes. It becomes harder and harder to breathe. Look at it from an astronomical point of view, from an astronaut's point of view. Space experts confirm that a similar phenomena is also observed as soon as you exit the boundaries of Earth. And if you cross the boundaries of Earth unaided, without the help of any oxygen gear or something like that, then what could possibly happen is that your blood vessels and your lungs would just burst. They would constrict so much they would just explode within you, and you would clearly die. And the sensation that they have come up with is the sensation of a choking feeling followed by the bursting of your arteries and veins. And this has been mentioned in the Holy Qur'an, in the exact way, shape and form that it's supposed to happen. Now, the last thing that we're going to touch upon in the universe is again stars. And this is something that really shakes you. In Surah Al-Waqi'ah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in chapter 56 verse 75, I swear by the positions of the stars, and this is indeed a mighty oath if you only knew. Now Allah Ta'ala has openly asked us that I swear by the positions of the stars, and this is a mighty oath if only you knew. A normal human being will not interpret it in any way. You think maybe it's, stars, position, they guide us, and so on and so forth. But if you look at it from a scientific point of view, you'll realize the absolute miracle that is this verse. Now the only star in our solar system is the sun. The sun is 93 million miles away from the surface of the earth, and the light that comes from the sun, it takes it 8 minutes to reach the earth. That's how far the sun is. So if, let's suppose, the sun was to explode right now, we would find out 8 minutes later that the sun is gone. Because the light traveling towards the earth is already on its way. And if it explodes now, we'd find out 8 minutes later that the sun is no more there. In the same way, if you look at stars outside of our solar system, we'll find that the nearest one that we have is 4.2 light years away. Now what's a light year? When we say 4.2 light years, we mean that the light from that star to come to the earth, it takes it 4.2 years to get to the earth. 4.2 years for that star's light to reach the earth. Which means that by the time we see the light, the star has already changed its position. So what we are seeing is not the star itself. We are seeing a position of the star. It is a position where it used to be, not a position where it actually is now, because that star has moved. So we are seeing 4.2 years later the position where that star used to be. And this is why this verse is so fantastic. That I swear by the positions of the stars. Allah Ta'ala could have said, I swear by the stars. But He says, I swear by the positions of the stars, because relative to us, that is exactly what we see. We see the positions of the stars, we don't see the stars. Now, coming from the space, we come to ourselves. As Allah Ta'ala asks us to go into this field as well. It mentions, we'll start talking about the embryology, or how man is created. It mentions in Surah Nuh, chapter 71, verses 13 to 14. What is the matter with you, that you are not conscious of God's majesty, seeing that it is He that has created you in diverse stages? It further mentions in Surah Az-Zumar, chapter 39, verse 6, He creates you in the wombs of your mother in stages one after another, in 3 veils of darkness. Now some scientists and people who have studied embryology claim that these 3 veils of darkness are the anterior abdominal wall, the uterine wall, and the amniochoric membrane. In Surah Al-Mu'minun, chapter 23, verse 12 to 14, Allah Ta'ala gives us the best description of how an embryo is created. Allah Ta'ala says, we created man from an extract of clay. Then we made him as a drop, nutfa in Arabic, in a place of settlement and firmly fixed. Then we made the drop, or the nutfa, into an alaka, which is a leech, suspended thing, or blood clot. Then we made the alaka into mudgha. Mudgha is a chewed substance. Then we made the mudgha into bones, then covered the bones with flesh. We thus produce a new creature. Most blessed is Allah, the best creator. Now this is what the Quran says. Let's try to interpret its meaning and then let's see what science has to say about it. Now literally the Arabic word alaka has 3 meanings. The first meaning is leech, the second meaning is a suspended thing, and the third meaning is blood clot. Why leech? Now when you look at the embryo at the stage of an alaka, it looks like a leech. If you see a leech, it looks like a leech. And on top of that, the precision is so strong that the embryo is also acting like a leech. It feeds from the blood of the mother, similar to the leech, which feeds on the blood of others. Then we talk about it being a suspended thing. And we know from scientific fact that the suspension of the embryo during the alaka stage in the womb of the mother is evident. That the baby is suspended and holds on to the mother. The last meaning is blood clot. And the external appearance of the embryo as it sacs during the alaka stage is similar to that of a clot of blood. This is due to 2 main reasons. Number 1, that there are large amounts of blood present within the embryo. And number 2, that blood is not circulating. When the blood is not circulating, it forms a clot, right? And it looks like a clot. So this word alaka, having 3 meanings, is absolutely perfect for the description of an embryo as it is being created. The next stage mentioned in the verse is mudgha. The Arabic word mudgha means chewed substance. Now an embryo that is at the mudgha stage resembles a chewed substance. For example, a gum that is chewed. This is because the somites, that is at the back of the embryo, closely resemble little teeth marks in a curved shape. And that's why we say that it looks like a chewed substance. Don't be scared or don't be grossed out by it, because we all look like that at some point in time.